Yo, what is up, guys? It's BCP here. We've got another video. We've been able to get a collaboration in with Scorned.Empress, otherwise known as Sujithemaiden. He is #1 Nuxia globally as it stands as of now. And we've got a bit of a tier list kicking up based off of Nuxia matchups. I'm going to say that again. It's for Nuxia matchups only. So it's not a tier list to say who's better, it's not anything to do with that. It's based purely off of Nuxia matchups. Suji, how are you doing, bro?
I've been doing fine. Woke up at 6 this morning, so my brain is a little melting right now. But we'll be kicking this off just fine. So don't chill worry out. I'm pretty present right now.
Oh,
So let's just go through the whole ordeal regarding Nuxia matchups. And one thing that people don't seem to realize is that when Hatun came out, people kind of got the sense of charm regarding Nuxia's poor matchups with Hatun, but no one seemed to really bat an eye towards that ordeal. It's usually when it comes to chain offense regarding hyper armor. Those characters are first and foremost all around fucking dangerous for her. So who do you think is going to go first in the top tier?
Berserker.
Berserker, you think so?
Yeah.
Let's start off with Centurion actually. So Centurion, he is a fucking beast. With the buff change to his charged punch, there was some more leeway regarding Nuxia's iframe regarding the dodge attack. So you had like a 300 ms extra frame to delay your dodge attack more and more. So before his change, you were able to kind of slip by it more easily. So Centurion it wasn't too dangerous in that regard because Nuxia was able to like get into her offense easier when he would use his charge much more frequently. But now it's more often than not confirmed, despite how usual and frequent you use that delay dodge attack. But his hyper armor chains and how infinite chain offense he has involving hyper armor, that matchup is completely one-sided, usually towards Centurion. And with his variable timed heavies too on top of hyper armor, it's just a fucking chore and a half to deal with. So yeah, that's Centurion. He's immediate top tier. Now again, everyone, I understand this is not just a dual tier list, it's just an all-around matchup tier list regarding Nuxia. And I feel like a video like this is a must-need for those that don't have that kind of knowledge. I know that Nuxia is really under the radar, kind of under the rugs kind of thing. So I figured this video would help y'all out there to kind of understand Nuxia's pros and cons. So yeah, and moving on, let's see. Next one, Hitokiri.
Here we go. Nightmare matchup, straight up. I would say.
So yeah, like I said before, infinite chain on top of heavies, variable timed heavies with stack with hyper armor. It is a fucking chore and a half to deal with. She has variable timed bashes or sweeps with her kick. It is
It's
very
as well. It's just a nightmare to deal with. When
like
you're playing as
I can react off animation with her variable timed heavies. Of course, I can usually do that. Sometimes it doesn't. I'll get hit. It is what it is. But once I get that parry in, it just throws them off their game, and that's when I kind of get the go ahead and the green light to kind of
your chain up and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, if you can react off animation when she times her variable time heavies, you'll be fine. If you more often than not, but for majority that people deal with, because I already hear people already have a hard time with Hitokiri with any other character in the roster. But with Nuxia's regarding Nuxia and the hyper armor that Hitokiri has, it is fucking insanity.
Yeah, it's just a overall. It's just Hitakiri is Hitakiri. He's just a nightmare as a whole anyway for me as well. Like playing Nuxia into Hito, it's just like I win some, I lose a lot more against him, and it's just that kind of speaks for itself in a sense. It's
right.
Yeah, it's just a pain, and obviously do trades, but you don't really do that with Nuxia whatsoever because she's got no hyper armor, so there's nothing that you can really do apart from play defensive, and then being able to, once you've been able to break the offense, start on your offense and start doing your chains and stuff like that, and then trying to keep them in that sector with the traps and all that sort of thing.
Right. All right. So next up, holy hell, I'm picking between either Raider or Berserker.
Should we do Berserker? I feel like Berserker is obviously for me. I struggle with Berserker on every level. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's soft paint. I don't know whether it's just his hyper armor. I don't know. It's
I'm like real IX in this regard. Call.
Yeah. For me, it's
just alarm.
For me,
but
Zerk would be nightmare matchup, just because of the hyper armor as well.
I can attest to that, considering I'm like real IX in this regard. I can react to his soft faint lights usually.
Yeah.
But
for an average player, it's more of a read. I feel like Nuxia's very much read based. You can react with Nuxia and stuff, but like obviously, I feel like when I go against a Zerk, I'm usually always trying to make reads more than reaction.
Yeah. So no, Berserker has obviously it has soft faint lights. He can delay to his maybe 300 frames, 300 ms, with the soft faint lights and stuff to make it more unreactable.
Yeah.
So next up, Raider.
Raider. Well, we'll put Raider.
We'll put him in Nightmare matchup. He's below Berserker.
Yep.
Like I said, so he's kind of like Berserker in a sense of with his soft faint storm tap, right? So, but the thing is, it's only one directional, which is top. So, with Berserker, on the other hand, it's different. That's why I'm kind of differing between the two.
Yeah.
Why Raider is just a tad bit below Berserker.
Yeah.
So his infinite, he has as long as he's soft fainting that fucking storm tap, he can infinite chain his offense.
Yep.
And with his chain heavies, he has a three hit heavy chain with hyper armor.
Yeah.
If you're just constantly going on offensive and red indicators are just constantly popping up, there's literally nothing you can do, and that is the majority of what all four of these characters up here are doing.
Yeah.
Constant red indicators, and Nuxia cannot do shit with red indicators constantly popping in her face. All you can do is play defensively or react or make a right read.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I say we're going on Raider. So next up, I think we're gonna move below the hard matchup, and if I see a character that particularly is a fucking cheese ball against Nuxia, I will put her back in, put him up in Nightmare. But hard matchup, you know what? Where is that? Yeah.
Here he is. Hard matchup. Point.
Yeah. So ever since his fucking buff, dude, he is constantly, so he gets hyper armor very early frame in his heavy, so every time he sees fucking red from you as a Nuxia, he will fucking and he did the same thing with the zone too. He did the same thing with the zone. The thing is, Sohei's against Nuxia will make sure that they will try not to make a read to save their life.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like, to be fair, I've not gone against too many Sohis since his buff. So you will need to take the chains on this one. And the thing is, his high health pool, holy fucking shit. Nuxia needs to go through maybe 2 to 3 correct mix-ups to fucking get the job done against the Sohei.
But as long as you're making the right read or reacting, he'll be okay. It's just more often than not that Sohei gets into his offense way more often than you do because of the fact that he has such an early frame opener heavy with Hyper Armor. And whether you throw that heavy or trap, you're out of the 33. I hate having to say 33 because it's just it's tongue twister.
Yeah.
So with Lucia's offense, you're making 3 different optional reads, which is why it's calculated to 33. So you have like your raw heavy, you have your trap, and then you have a feint to GB.
Yep.
Those are your 3 different reads. I guess you could count feint into light parry if they're going to try to light stuff you, but that's about it. But like, yeah, regarding Sohei, dude, he gets into his mix more often than you do, and because of the fact that he has such an opener to cheese his way into both of your 2 options out of your offensive reads.
Yeah.
So, and on top of the fact that he can stack his souls to get that
The one tap, yeah.
The one tap, yeah, that shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Sohei. If he's lower, if I find a character that's like higher than Sohei, obviously I'll put him above Sohei.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shigoki, I do not have a hard time at all with Shigoki. There is a way to fucking obliterate him with Nuxia.
Okay.
So so you have a hard time with Shigoki.
I have hard times with Shigoki. Yeah. Anyone with like delayed heavies. What I usually find playing Nuxia is delayed heavies.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, constant hyper armor and soft feints for me as a Nuxia player. Those 3 elements, if they're implemented into a character, I'm pretty much screwed. So it's why I have such a hard time with, say, Berserker, because he's got the delayed heavies. He's got soft feints. Well, to some extent, yeah. And then obviously he's just built around hyper armor anyway. So it's like those 3 elements that go into a character will destroy me as a Nuxia player quite consecutively. There is times where I can obviously do a lot more damage to them and obviously win a few games, but I find myself struggling a lot more with said characters that have soft feints, delayed heavies, hyper armor, if that makes sense.
Right. No, I know what you mean. So
I would put Shigoki in hard matchup. Obviously.
Yeah. There are really good Shigokis out there, and I've dealt with a few. You know, they're good.
So should we put them in hard, or where should we put
hard. You can put them in hard.
Yeah.
Fuck it. No, Shigoki. And personally, I enjoy matchups against Shigoki because of the fact that I kind of utilize. So Nuxia's for one people that don't know, that Nuxia's side heavies are if you delay them, they completely negate Shigoki's iframes completely. So say if they're gonna assume like you're gonna throw a regular side heavy or a trap, which are both dodgeable early frame, which is stupid. I don't know why. He will try to dodge bash and utilize his iframes, but Nuxia's delay side heavies will completely negate that completely. It is really fun to use, and it always throws them off their game. So regarding Shigoki's hyper armor, it's really just you have to go into like a light to a heavy to activate hyper armor, or just to throw a normal heavy charged heavy to get that hyper armor going. So I'm not really too intimidated with Shigoki personally because that it's not like infinite chain hyper armor. Yeah. You're just at that point you're just kind of reacting to if or making the read if he's gonna feint to GB and whatnot. Moving on. Next character we have, let's take a gander. Who is it? Who will it be?
Would we say
hard matchup? Nah, a fear is fun.
Yeah.
I love a fear matchup with Nuxia, bro. It is so much fun. No, so I would say a good warden a good warden can you can have a really hard time against a really really good warden.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll put him below Shigoki. Put him below Shigoki. Yeah.
I would. Obviously, we're in different...
We gotta go below Shigoki.
There
you go.
I would put... Obviously, we share 2 different MMs. Obviously, you're in a higher MM than I am. So for me,
Right.
I usually find wardens quite easy. Like, I like to think that I bully wardens more than any other character in the game, personally. There's only so much that a warden can do. If you can make a read on Bash, he's not really a problem. Because it's either going to be, he's going to light you into a level 1 Bash and then go into a level... He's probably going to do that twice and then usually going for a level 3. Or sometimes he can go straight for a level 3. But the second that I see any form of that as a player, I either light or GB straight away.
Yeah.
So I can read wardens quite easily. Obviously, from a different MM perspective, from your perspective per se, you obviously would go against some really good wardens. I go against some really bad ones. So like, I know how to kind of counter wardens and make good reads on wardens. So for me, he would be on an easy matchup scale, but obviously from a different MM perspective, I could imagine him being quite difficult in aspects of reading the bashes and utilise his kit a bit differently to what I'm used to.
Yeah, so the wardens that I fight will constantly feint their bashes. Constantly will bait you out with a charge to feintable, charge bash into fatal GB. So that there is a particular character in this roster here down here that that is actually better than Warden, and I'll get to that in just a second. So, and there's only one reason why. So the thing is, Warden, good Warden will always utilize their bashes and bait them out as often as they can, and use their sword more. Actually, I've seen it. It's a beautiful thing to see a Warden not solely dependable on a bash.
Yeah.
So the thing is with Warden is that he can feint into dodge after a bash and kind of make Nuxia's heavies whiff more frequently, which fucking suck. So they'll so if you throw a raw heavy with a Nuxia and then Warden is currently going through a bash and they feint it and dodge again and then bash again, that confirms them.
Yeah.
It will constantly confirm their mix.
Yeah.
That's only like the really reasoning why he's in a hard matchup. Because a good Warden can obliterate a Nuxia if you're playing Nuxia and you're not being careful about it. But yeah, so the character that I actually was supposed to put above Warden was actually Lawbringer.
Lawbringer, yeah, definitely.
For one important factor is because of the fact that his iframes are bar none way better than Warden's on his bash, and Warden doesn't have to go through. So like Warden doesn't have the amount of iframes that Lawbringer does now with his side bashes. The only reasoning that Lawbringer is above Warden is because of the fact that he has iframes and he doesn't have to feint a bash numerous of times just to confirm a bash and get into mix. But yeah, that's Lawbringer. So I'm excited to go into fun matchups actually. But But let's see. Any other character? I'm just making sure.
I'd say JJ as well.
JJ in the hard matchup?
I would say so. I don't really go against JJs, but whenever I do, I'm usually getting my ass handed to me.
I personally consider characters with extended dodge iframes to have been more in fun matchup. Let's put Varangian below Warden. Varangian. Yes, because her mix is so practical and so simplistic, and you have everything at your disposal from neutral, I might add.
Yeah.
But to be fair, let's be real here. Her opener light is no longer enhanced.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most problematic factors of how consistent to get into her offense it was.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like, Nuxia would become dangerous for one reason. A lot of characters would too, is if their opener light was enhanced.
Yeah.
Because with that, you can get into your mix way more frequently. But I would say Varangian is still a top-notch hero. She's very strong still. Mm-hmm. You just have to make the right read if they're gonna like feint the GB and you light stuff them.
Yeah.
And make that read. You can get into your offense easier that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, Varangian is still very dangerous with a lot of her 50-50 soft feint, blockable. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Constant crush and counter. And, like, the thing is, like, if she is like I remember so many times where I would whiff a trap and go for a light, and VG's just throwing a random dodge attack.
Yeah.
They're like just accidental crushing counters all around the board, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it is the most fucking stupid shit to deal with. Because she, like, who the hell would have thought to put crushing counters on a dodge attack in the first place?
Uh-huh.
It's just more safe. It's just more safe than anything. But yeah, that's VG.
Mm-hmm.
Hard matchup.
Warmonger? Yeah.
Warmonger got a kind of, with her offense, it's much different than VG's, because it's not like her light opener is no longer enhanced too.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Ubisoft decided to nerf that. It's kind of like Warmonger was kind of just like under the radar and not really like a problematic hero in the slightest.
I feel like she was.
At least in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, with Warmonger, it's Warmonger. It's level. For me, it's the scratches, the level 1 scratch, because it comes quick. That does come quick. The level 1, and just utilizing that scratch a hell of a lot is, for me, what makes Warmonger. Yeah. So the scratch,
scratch.
Yeah,
you say like
scratches
the cat.
You in the face. The bash, the level 1 bash. I know that the thing is I know that there is some players that will alternate and do level 2 bashes. I know that level 2 bashes are a thing, where it's just catching it before it is a level 3, and that one is what catches a lot of players out as well. If you know how to do a level 2 bash, that's what kind of puts the salt on the crackers in a sense. Absolutely skanks people. It's definitely.
You know what? There is another character that's going to be above VG actually.
Go on.
I'm not sure if you'll be surprised by this, but PK.
PK, yeah, I can agree with that.
She'll be above VG.
Move over. There we go.
So one reason PK has just an all-around more unreactable offense than Nuxia.
Yeah.
Nuxia's offense is unreactable, but the thing is there are many exploitations to kind of avoid a lot of her offense compared to PK. Yeah. PK has a lot of confirmed attacks regarding her bleed, and then she, like PK, the damage value that PK has, fucking 38 damage bleeds, right? That's just fucking crazy. Low health pool heroes have a really hard time, especially Nuxia, like PK. For how PT she is a fucking monster. Like, people always complain about Nuxia's damage value, but fucking PK, like, those damage numbers are off the chain as when the bleed is consistent. Yeah. And considering that those bleeds are easily accessible through unreactable offense, it's PK is a very tough matchup for Nuxia. It can go one or two ways.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, but yeah. Let's see.
Let's have a look.
Now. I would say a character that is actually better than Warden. BP.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll explain why. And it is bullshit. Okay, so BP. What is one thing you think in BP's kit that negates both Nuxia's heavies and her traps?
Well, a bit of flip.
Yep.
A bit of flip, 100%.
In high MM, BPs will constantly try to flip if they see heavy animation.
Yep.
So right out the gate.
Yep.
They will do that just to fuck with you. It is the most stupid shit. And the thing is, they don't like neither you or them really get much out of it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like inconsistent offense that Nuxia has to deal with already on top of something in BP's kit that completely negates two other options in Nuxia's offensive reads. You can obviously anyone can argue, yes, feint to GB. Yes, you can do that. But why do two other options in Nuxia's kit that derive from her gimmick alone derives around raw heavies or traps?
Yeah. What I've usually noticed with BPs though is if they go in for the flip on heavy, if you whiff that trap, you can still hit that line and it'll go through. You can still catch up with that line.
But is 9 damage really that like?
I mean,
redeemable?
It's not necessarily. However, it is something that can start your chain. That line, you can whack it straight into either.
You get a confirmed damage, but you get into either a finisher, light, or heavy. So you have to make that call, regardless.
Yeah.
You have to make that offensive read at the very end as a finisher when you get that confirmed light, 9 damage light. 9 damage. I know it's very underwhelming, but like it is what it is. But character below PK. Below PK will be Shaolin. I feel like Shaolin will be below PK. No, Shaolin, like PK, has all around much better consistency in his offense. He has opener bash. He has a lot of 50-50 sweeps. He has he can really delete your health, much like PK. It's just the damage value difference. It differentiates. It's PK has stacks of bleed, whereas Shaolin is all around a walloper. He has a full all around offensive. It's mostly heroes that are that have more offense than you do as a Nuxia. That kind of you have to be very careful with. But yeah, Shaolin. I'd say it's more reasonable. Fun. I feel like we should go to fun matchups now.
We can do that.
Let's see. Fun matchups. Shinobi.
Okay.
Shinobi is fun.
Yeah.
Shinobi is such a fun matchup to go against.
They're not the hardest to deal with. However, it's a lot of movement. What I like to see in a fun matchup is a lot of movement. So, say with Shinobi, you can kick spam and all that sort of stuff. You make the read on the kick, it's obviously a 3 GB and all that sort of thing. It's just if they're going in for a zone, deflect the zone, it's tasty, it's beautiful to look at. So there is a lot of redeeming factors for obviously Shinobi and Nuxia fights. It'll be very nice to watch, but also very nice to play in certain elements.
On top of the fact that it just looks beautiful too. It's like you're having like this elegant character like Nuxia, then you have another character that's very more, agile. You know, an elegant. You add elegance and an agile character. It's just like it looks kind of beautiful to watch at the same time.
Yeah.
But on top of the fact that the matchups alone, man, like they're always gonna be you're always gonna have a fun time against the Shinobi with Nuxia.
Yeah.
But with it's a very neutral ground between the two.
Yeah.
So I understand that like Shinobi has double dodges and like a kick and all that nonsense, but the thing is, Nuxia's delayed heavies, like I said, can, however, negate a lot of his side bashes and stuff if they're not being careful.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing about with Nuxia is if you can not only delay the heavies but also delay the lights as well.
You delay lights, yeah. And delayed light chains, it throws them off their game so quick. Delay lights,
massively, and you can go for some time. You've got a nice little gap to be able to delay the lights enough to disorientate the opponent as well. So, say with a Shinobi, obviously you can make a read on the kick, you can GB him, you can start doing your delayed heavies, and then obviously if they make a read on a heavy and they end up dodging it, you've instantly also got your lights as well. Obviously you whip a trap, you can delay the light after, all that sort of thing. It when you've got two characters that move quite quickly, it's definitely an eye-opener to a whole different sort of playground in a sense. It's nice to be able to look at two characters that have a lot of movement, and I always think it's like a dance in a sense, because you're both turning around constantly. You're all, you're usually spinning around.
You're twirling, you're being ballerinas the whole game,
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to hard matchup, so we're going to put actually Warlord below BP.
Warlord below BP. Where is Warlord? Where are you,
Top
Warlord?
left.
Top left.
Top
There he is. Below. Oh, we're putting it below?
Yes, below.
Below.
So Warlord has everything that BP has besides the flip, of course, usually. So the thing is, a good Warlord will always know to light stuff in Nuxia and go into their hyper armor heavies and all that nonsense. He actually has delay windows with his lights and his heavies, like Nuxia, similarly. Nuxia has late frame windows. Dude, if you can delay her shit so late, it is fucking crazy. So like I said, like Warlord pretty much has mostly everything that BP has, just besides the flip, and the only reason that BP is a little bit above is because he has the flip that negates two other Nuxia's offensive reads.
Okay.
But yeah. So down to fun matchup, Afira. Afira is like Afira. It could either be above Shinobi, or Shinobi could be behind, or she could be behind Shinobi. They're both equally great.
Yeah, we'll put Afira in front of Shinobi on that one. I prefer to go against Afira's. I find a lot more fun against Afira's than Shinobi's, in my personal opinion. A lot more.
They're both.
Everything.
They're both equally fun for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cartwheeling and all that nonsense. I don't know. It's pretty neutral. It's very neutral matchup, and it's always a fun time versing against these two heroes. But Afira has really good mixes in her kit. A lot of she has a displacement like Nuxia does. It's almost like I remember at the time when Afira first came out, I'm like, this could have been Nuxia's rework. Oh my gosh, But yeah, it's all around fun fight. You're always gonna have a good time. Now I would say Shaman is a really fun matchup too. So she can go below Shinobi.
Yeah.
Shinobi. I mean, Shaman is always. You're always gonna have a fun time against a Shaman because, she has soft faint lights and stuff. She has 400 ms lights that go into bleed.
Yeah.
She has before Nuxia's zone trap. There was a lot of similar things you could do with Nuxia's trap, similar to Shaman's bite.
Yeah.
So like I said, you were able to get a zone trap off a GB light parry or a wall splat. With Shaman's bite was able to do the same as long as the bleed was active. You had to blood trans.
Yeah.
But no, Nisha's zone can't really do that no more.
Exactly.
And the thing is, the difference between Shaman's Bite and Nisha's zone trap was that in those cases, like I mentioned, Nisha's zone trap was a proper 50-50. I don't know why they changed it. It was perfect the way it was. You were able to make really good reads off of opponent GB if they feint into GB, and then you hit like a raw zone. You only had like 100 MS GB vulnerability, which basically made it invulnerable, and you're able to get like a raw like 28 damage off of that shit, and it was always satisfying to get. But yeah, Nuxia was very similar in Shaman in that regard, and it was always a fun time going against a good Shaman, you know, because you were both like eating each other, fucking stabbing each other, flipping each other over.
Yeah.
It was always fun.
Yeah.
Another fun matchup. Let me think.
Where would we put Yorm?
Yorm,
I like going against Yorms. I love going against Yorms. Find them a lot of fun. But not necessarily hard, but I do find Yorms fun to go against. It's definitely
not unless they're just constantly feinting into zone when you're trying to like when you're basically making a reader of some forth, and like, you know, when he's feinting, he's going into his kneecapper, you know, and he's gonna try to slam you.
Yeah.
He'll feint that shit and go into his zone, and you're trying to make the read to dodge, and then and he's just spamming the zone. That's where the fun ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. But as an overall character, dodging the bash.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? Let's go back to hard matchup. Actually, there's a character now that I want to put up there.
Who would you want to put up there?
Aramusha. Fuck him.
Aramusha. See, I'm mixed between
everything is with his damage value, his fucking unblockable 50-50 song. Like, dude, it is fucking crazy with the simple change it did to him. No, it's not like the craziest to deal with, because I know Hatoon's better. Okay. Hatoon is all around better.
Okay.
But the thing is, what keeps him so fucking annoying to deal with is his damage value. Once that shit gets knocked down a bunch, dude, I'll be okay with Aramusha the way he is.
Okay.
But his unblockable does 31 fucking damage, bro. And that's just by itself alone, without any of his feats. Once he uses that damage feat he has, I think it was a tier 3, or I think it was a tier 3. His damage goes up by 10, and he hits you for 41 damage.
Yeah.
Character with a low health pool like that, holy fucking hell! Just take my whole health bar, why don't you?
Yeah. See, I find with Aramusha's the deflect victim for me. I find if there's any other character that I am going to deflect, it is going to be an Aramusha, and it's just a lot of fun. Battle points as well, obviously. It is a lot of fun. Obviously, you've also got the recovery for full guard, which can also be a pain in the arse. And
it's very specifically timed, his full guard is too. So if you're like throwing a trap, more often than not, it'll whiff, because the trap window is so fucking paper thin. It is so ridiculous to deal with. And the thing is, it's like you have to be so specific on when you want to trap his full guard too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I said,
mentioning with a paper thin trap that's gonna work against someone who's got probably a second worth of full guard, if that. It's a very quick, straight to full guard, straight back out sort of thing. So if you are going to do a trap on that full guard, you've got to make a read on that full guard and time it pretty much perfectly to get that trap off, in a sense. Otherwise, it's just going to be a whiff. Obviously, if it does whiff and the full guard breaks, sort of thing, you can go in for a light. But on the aspects of a lot of the other things, like even if you're going in, you whiff the heavy into a light, and then you're going into another chain. usually that's where I'll do another full guard again. It's all based on read sort of thing with Aramusha.
No,
but
exactly.
if it's an Aramusha playing offensively, I feel like, for me anyway, Aramusha's definitely more on the fun side, so I'm quite happy with him being.
You're right. If Aramusha was playing more defensively, yeah, for sure. That's what Nuxia really goes after, people that play defensively.
Yeah. So obviously, if someone's, it's the same with like starers and stuff like that. So if I'm going against a staring opponent, for me, I'm in my absolute top dollar sort of play style there, because I'm punishing you for looking at me sort of thing. Throw something at me, let me parry you, you know. Let me start my chain sort of thing. I'm either going to start my chain through just all out throwing heavies and then getting you into a trap combo, or you're going to try and throw something at me. I'm either going to deflect it, I'm going to parry it, and then I'm going to start that chain anyway. So for me, it's one of those. The only time that it's not really going to work is if they make the correct read on the start of my combos sort of thing. So whether I trap it or not, if they make the perfect read on that, then that's where I get punished. However, with Aramushas, I just find Aramushas so much more fun than hard, but I'm quite happy with putting him at the end of hard into a fun matchup.
Yeah, because he's either or, you know.
It's either or, yeah.
So
Hatun, dead easy. So it's one of them.
Right, Hatun. She's fun. I like her.
For me,
she's fun.
Hard, but I can understand.
No, it's the Asian mommy off, you know.
literally.
So Hatun has a lot of full guards at her disposal, but if she's constantly running at you and you're utilizing those traps more, you're gonna have a fun time.
Yeah.
And it's really, if you really time your it's best to kind of trade as much as and often as you can regarding her run into 400 mess lights and stuff directional that are directional. With Hatun, she's a beast, but she's also, you know, she works well against in terms of matchup with Nuxia. She is fun to fight.
Yeah.
So
what I usually find with Hatuns is if I see a light, I'm GBing. It sounds stupid, it sounds absolutely crazy, but what I usually find with 90% of Hatun players, they will throw that starter light and then they'll go straight to full guard. So the second I see that animation for that light go, I am GBing, because usually it will always catch when they go into that.
Well, because are they backstepping lighting or what? Are they backstep lighting?
Backstep lighting, yeah, all that sort of thing. It's the second that I see that light, I GB, because it will.
Right. No, I know. I've done that too. It's a good little mind game and for Hatun players. I personally loved Hatun's design, especially. I loved how she dual-wielded those sabers, man. I was like on board with it.
Yeah.
I had my fill with Hatun. I mentioned to you, I was like, dude, she might do 90.
Yeah.
But no, I had a fun time, but like I feel like Nuxia's flow is just more satisfying.
There's no flow like Nuxia's flow, in my personal opinion. Like,
it's just the character of elegant, the female warrior of elegance and malice. That's what I like.
You're dancing in destruction, in a sense.
You make murdering someone look so beautiful.
Yeah.
How to do it, you know? Yeah. So fun matchups aren't going to be that big. I'm very specific on my fun matchups. But like, yeah, Yorm is alright. You can play some fun matchups. He's alright.
Yeah. I'd say that Yorm is a fun matchup. I like. The thing is if I wasn't going to be a Nuxia main, I would be a Yorm main. I do like Yorm an awful lot. His playstyle is Old Yorm, yeah.
Old Yorm,
I wasn't
he was so
really
beautiful
around at that time of Old Yorm. I do remember playing against Old Yorm, but that was very, very, very early into my For Honor playing and stuff like that. And I ended up taking a huge break, and once I came back to For Honor, that's when he had all of his rework done. So I remember Old Yorm very faintly. The same way with Conk's Old Zone.
Bro, if you ever want to watch Old Yorm content, go watch Frere OP. Oh man, he performed. He performed with Yorm so much. I wonder how he's doing that. He hasn't uploaded in a long time, but I know he's probably just living life. But yeah, he no, Yorm is fun to fight. He's like but it's just there's a lot of things that can kind of deteriorate the fun. Yeah. That Yorm players tend to do. It's very abusable. They just can't fucking help themselves but be boring and using that zone off of whiffing the kneecapper. Yeah. What was it? Oh yeah, what I was making that noise for earlier, I was gonna say a really fun matchup is fucking Jean-Hu, bro. Yeah. I fucking love. Put him below Shinobi. Below.
There we go. It's all the way. Yeah, go on. So
left is left, right is right. Right means red means stop, green means go. Literally. Just kidding. Literally. No, but listen, no, I love Jean-Hu Nuxia matchups, and Soul Blazer opened that door for me. Soul Blazer opened that fucking door for me, and he's a goated fucking Jean-Hu. I think he's one of the best Jean-Hus in the game. He is very gifted with Jean-Hu. He gets so Soul Blazer he gets so pissed because his dodge cancels are 300 best, right? Off venue input. Nuxia, delayed heavies, destroy. They destroy his dodge cancels when he goes into like tries to go for a directional left or right dodge attack, right? Don't even give him that opportunity. He's like, tell me too. Like, I've never seen a Nuxia perform like this before. How the fuck are you negating everything I'm doing? Yeah. Also, yeah, that's Jean-Hu. Next fun matchup has to be Kensei. Kensei is fun.
Yeah, Kensei is fun. I do like going against good Kensei. They're always fun. Yeah. What would we say about Kensei?
Kensei is really just self-explanatory. I think anyone would know the answer. Yeah. Anyone's always gonna have a fun time, and I feel like it's not even just Nuxia. A lot of characters in the game all around are gonna have a fun matchup against a Kensei. Yeah, a good Kensei, I might add. Let me think. Hard matchups. Let's put Tiande below Shaolin. Below Shaolin.
Oh my days, I am an idiot.
I'm gonna babysit the hell out of you, dude.
Yeah.
No, Tiandi, he can be fun, but at the same time, they're very spammy.
Yeah.
POV Tiandi, you know, we all know this. But let's be real here. If there's, Nuxia, no one knows this, but Nuxia, when you go against a character with extended dodge iframes, there's a little utility you use in Nuxia's kit that nobody ever does, and I tell them all the time to do it. So, and it goes equally with JJ. It goes, what other characters have extended dodge iframes? I'm having a brain fart here. JJ has extended dodge iframes. Tiandi has it.
What?
No.
I'm an idiot.
No.
See, I don't know these words. I'm kind of like.
No, you're fine. No. So, extended dodge iframe characters. There's something in Nuxia's kit that you can use that nobody does. You know how everyone just frantically thinks that, oh, I have to depend on the fucking light on trap whiff. You need to use her heavy chains on trap whiffs to completely negate dodge, extended dodge iframe characters. You're gonna destroy them. You will. It hits them. And sometimes another thing you can do with extended dodge iframes is that once they're about like a quarter away through their extended dodge iframe, fucking input a side heavy towards their direction. And you will fucking hit them.
Okay.
Easy peasy. No, Tiande isn't too problematic but he's also very spammy.
Yeah.
And his kit is better than Nuxia. And you know, a lot of you think that trap whiffs. Oh no, they're just dodging. I can't use traps. Use the side heavy chain on trap whiff, and you'll be just fine. You won't have too hard of a time. So just put also let's move on to JJ. We will put him. We'll put him below VG. How about that? Below VG.
Below VG. There we go. See, I did that first try there. You see.
Like I mentioned before, he has extended dodge iframes. You'll have an easier time utilizing the side heavy on trap whiffs. So the thing is with this kit is that it's not as spammy as Tiandi. VG has spammy offense too, but it's not too problematic either. But with JJ, he does have soft feintable unblockables that you have to make a hard read out of. Yeah. So, yeah, he can be a hard matchup. A good JJ is always going to be dangerous. Yeah. But let's see. Easy. Let's go to. We're gonna have to jump down to easy matchup. Conqueror and Nobushi. Yeah.
Instant Nobu straight down there. Nobu.
I just looked at the next character down. So, but yeah, you pretty much. Yeah. Poor Nobu.
Poor Nobu.
Yeah, she needs some love. She needs to join the Asian Mommy Squad and not be terrible. Her. I do know that she did get a buff regarding her.
It was a kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it has forward movement now. So, yeah. Oh, something that Nuxia definitely needs. God damn it.
Needs something, doesn't she?
I'm sick and tired of just like fucking throwing a bunch of lights and heavies, and then the opponent is already like 500 meters away from me.
Yeah.
There's not really much to say about Nobu except she needs more unreactable offense. But I know when she does, she's going to be a fucking monster at the same time. Regarding her bleach, it's just going to be another PK, guaranteed. I already know.
Yeah. Definitely.
Conk, poor thing.
Yeah.
I feel like... No, I think he needs to be put in Do We Even Need to Talk.
Do we even need to talk? Okay. That's the first one going in there. Okay.
Yeah, poor dude, Conk. I love Conk because he's such an under-the-radar character. And I am one to appreciate characters like that. I mean, I'm a Nuxia player. That should speak for itself. Yeah. But I love his design. I like
his movement. I like it. You know,
his movement is great, but I loved old Conk so much because he had superior heavies, and he didn't even need to time a parry. You just get a confirmed heavy off a red, and it was so funny. Yeah. Conk was a beast back then, bro. Conk. What else can I say about him? He needs a roll catcher. Yeah. I feel like if you were to implement like a charged bash, that would just make him charge forward. As like kind of like that form of animation to get a roll catcher. Yeah. And then once it hits the roll as a roll catcher, it'll confirm you're unblockable. Just be like that. Yeah. People are be like, oh, well, what animation would he even have at a roll catcher? Just have him charge forward if you charge the bash. Yeah. Yeah. Be like, kind of like a Fira. Fira? Yeah.
Yeah. With attacks and stuff, yeah.
Let's see, easy matchup. You know what? Fun matchup. Orochi. Put him below Kensei. I like Orochi, actually. I like Orochi matchups. They're fun now. Yeah. Orochi's got a lot of significant amount of nerfs, believe it or not, but for good reason, obviously. But like, he's not a bad hero. It's just they've liberated a lot of his confirmed offense with a lot of his undodgeables and stuff. People were saying it was pretty problematic. I always parried the undodgeables on his Storm Rush. Yeah.
I mean, it's a bit different for me, but yeah.
Yeah. He was always a fun matchup to have, unless when they're not fucking spamming. Yeah. He has a lot of utility from neutral. Orochi has so much utility from neutral, and a lot of characters have that. And Orochi can get away with so much. Yeah. That's the thing. Another fun matchup. I would say Pirate. Honestly, I feel like Pirate should go above Orochi, in between.
Yeah.
Kensei and Orochi. I love how a Pirate looks like Nusha's domestically abusive older sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They definitely got some resemblance, haven't they? Definitely got some form of resemblance.
Yeah. Pirate looks like
different jobs in their older age.
Pirate definitely looks like Nusha if she lived in a crack house for about 10 years and decided to join a gang. Valkyrie, she's an easy matchup.
Yeah.
She's an easy matchup. She doesn't have a whole lot of utility and like consistency in her offense. It's very like not a lot going for her.
Yeah.
I know good Valkyries out there, but they have to be very, very precise with how time they do their bash. And sometimes they'll even bait out the bash and go for a GB and use like this specific tech that will make Valkyrie do the voice line when she does the bash. That kind of indicates when you should dodge.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mental game. It's fun, but it's funny. But Valkyrie, yeah, she's an easy matchup all around. She's not too hard. Gladiator, he's fucking annoying. Put him in below Armusha. He's annoying.
Yeah.
If anything,
I'm not a big fan of Glad. Berserkers and Glads are my two most hated to go against. In my personal, I cannot stand going against either Zerk or Glads. I just struggle against them so bad. I don't know why. I think it's more. For me, I can't read Glads properly, and that's just down to obviously time that I've played, sort of thing. Glads are always going to be one of those characters that will always kind of knock me down for 6, sort of thing. There's some that obviously, if they're bashing a lot, then you can make the read on the bash and they're quite easy, but it's the toe stab into a UB, into GB, or it's just anything. It's just a pain in the arse sometimes. The toe stabs especially. I'm pretty sure the
Gladiator is the king of interrupts. He is the king of interrupts. That's Glad for you. He is the king of interrupts and stuffing the shit out of you. And if you're a Nusha, you're gonna have the most annoying time of your life.
Yeah.
But the thing is, although his offense is very much reactable, at least for me personally, if he can light stuff the shit out of you and all that shit just builds up over time, it is so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But he's not a problematic character. He's just people just like to. They're like that hotel manager from that case file that he was a hotel manager and he walked into people's rooms while they slept and sucked on their toes.
Yep. Yeah.
That's Glad Veins for you.
Yeah, totally.
Highlander. I enjoy Highlander matchups. I've always have and I always will. Even before his rework, I loved Highlander matchups because high skill ceiling heroes like Nuxia, Highlander, it's such a good breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
To see high skill essential heroes going at it with each other.
Yeah.
It's always fun. His offensive stance. If they're just spamming the lights in offensive stance, they just take away the fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't really see that much too much because they're kind of being more safe about it. They know not to.
I'm gonna move Highlander.
I'd move Highlander. I would put him below Kensei, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Nuxia, our girl.
There we go.
Do we even need to talk? Above Conk.
Yep.
So one thing some people are going to probably be questioning, Nuxia mirrors. Why are you not so fun about Nuxia mirrors? I'll tell you why. It can go either or. No matter how long you play the hero, no matter how good you are with them.
Yep.
You're just constantly throwing heavies or traps. You're whiffing shit constantly. Nuxia's kit just isn't good to be mirrored against. It's not.
Yeah.
It sucks. And the thing is, I remember when this one TikToker clipped me and was like, I beat this rep 70 Nuxia. Oh my god. And I'm like, yeah, it's because we were just throwing heavies and traps and nothing else. It's just like, dude, Nuxia mirrors make no sense.
Yeah.
They don't. You can react. You can make reads. But when you're using your own offense against theirs, it can go either or.
Yeah.
It's like
it's a very mixed bag. You can either it's a 50-50 who comes out winning, and that's me personally. I enjoy that aspect of Nuxia. So there is times where obviously on TikTok and everything like that. If you've not already checked out the TikTok and everything, make sure to do that. I'll put a photo down. But there's times where I've sat with a whole group of people and I hold like Nuxia lessons on a Wednesday and stuff like that, and I've taught them how to play the character, and they've fucking slumped me, bro. Like, there's times where
it makes no sense half the time.
It's just one of them. I've played the character for a very long time. I know how she works, but because it's every Nuxia that you go against will kind of play in their own form, in a sense. So it's some will do a double light into a heavy, or they'll do triple lights, or they'll do a light heavy sort of thing. And it's all, there's so many different ways to play Nuxia that anyone that kind of picks her up, if you can get over the skill gap, because obviously you start off not really understanding the character. In my experience, when I first loaded For Honor up, I knew that I wanted to play Nuxia. I knew that straight from the get-go. A character that you can trap for parrying or wanting to parry you, like, as a new player, absolutely amazing. She shreds in low MM. She's absolutely phenomenal in that aspect because everyone tries to parry. So at that time, I didn't have the game knowledge or the game sense to be able to use her to the such format that I can now. So I had to kind of play with different characters. And I ended up revisiting Nuxia, and you know when you instantly know that you want to play that character, and it breaks your heart that you can't play him officially straight from the get-go because there's just so much more to the character behind the scenes. So learning how to trap, the amount of people who you would teach how to play Nuxia, and for me anyway, what I do is I take them into like a little cheeky 1v1 sort of thing. I see where they're at with the character first, and I kind of go off of what they could learn and stuff. The amount of times that new players will always trap that first heavy is insane because they just don't understand how that character works. They instantly think that you're going to be...
Sorry, Windows and Miss CC Windows can suck a fucking dick, dude.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, dude. Oh my god, you get rewarded for making the wrong read. Congratulations, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you gonna do? You want to spit on my face too while you're at it and just emote spam over my fucking corpse for making the wrong read? Congratulations for you want a fucking trophy too, you Grand Prix bitch, dude. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Literally. When it comes to Nuxias, like,
red indicator is T here. It's
Nuxias.
Bro.
Yeah, Nuxia can be a very 50-50 max up, but it's
Warmonger. She's fun. She's all right.
Where are we placing her?
She has it. You know, I would put her. I would put her above, actually below Highlander. Below Highlander.
There we go.
She has extended dodge iframes, so you know the drill. Heavy on whiff trap. You'll be fine. Make sure it's side. Yeah, she's fun. She's nothing like Warden though. At least after that nerf. Poor thing. I don't think she needed that nerf. Griffin. He's put him.
I would put him either hard or fun.
I fought Volcanic, so I've seen the utility that a Griffin can do.
Where would you put him?
Volcanic's kind of opened my eyes to Griffin.
Okay.
I would put him below Aramusha.
Below Aramusha.
If you can use Griffin the way Volcanic does, let me tell you, Griffin is fucking dangerous, bro. Volcanic is gifted with Griffin. So nice to see an under the radar character being used to be super fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Light stuffing. Griffin, his light stuff capabilities, holy shit. You can, you know the double tap light that he does.
Yeah.
You can delay it, right? And you can just like he loves to do that. It's funny.
But
no, Griffin
double tap on the lights as well. They are very off-putting.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wake my son up in just a few minutes, so let's get this over with.
Yep.
So, Kyoshin. Kyoshin is fun. Kyoshin is such a fun hero to go against. I love him. Put him above, put him below, Kensei.
Yep.
I love Kyoshin matchups with Nuxia because that all guard, oh man, it's like ringing the dinner bell.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, baby. They love being that little samurai jack femboy type shit, you know what I'm saying?
That's it.
But no, especially Blazin on TikTok. He's my boy. Love him to death. Shout out to Blazin. Love you, bro.
Yeah.
Also, we have yet to fight though. I want to fight him. He likes to be a little flowy with him. I want to see how it does. I think I fought him once. That was like over a year ago.
Yeah.
I 3-0'd him, and I kind of want that rematch again. See how good he got.
That's it. That's it.
Magi. Easy. Put him, yeah, right there. He's perfect. There you go. Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's good placement. Ocelotl, he's fucking annoying.
Okay, yeah.
Fucking mosquito. Fucking little mosquito, little bitch. If he had bleed, which everyone wants him to have, dude, he can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, put him, yeah, that's a good placement for him.
I'd put him there.
Yeah. No, I love the little change they did that on his bash to where his chain ends, and now they're very more scarce about it, and you hardly see Ocelotls anymore. Gee, I wonder why. Yeah. Oh man, you fucking meta bandwagon bitches! What's the matter? You can't play a character anymore because they're not strong anymore.
Yeah.
Man, you get fucking man. Y'all fucking meta bandwagons get hate for all the right reasons. Fuck you.
That's it. But that is. The tier list for Nuxia matchups. Remember that it's not.
Remember, so don't be all like this tier list.
Yeah, this tier
is
list
so
is
off-putting. Oh my, dude! It's just Nuxia matchup, which you have no idea of. I know that much because you look at a surface. Like 99% of you players out there will only look at Nuxia at a surface level. We know her fundamentally. Okay, this is just a matchup tier list.
Yeah.
So.
And
don't squeeze her. Stop trying. You don't need to squeeze our left butt cheek and pinch our cheeks and tell us, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. No, we know what we're talking about, okay?
Yeah.
So just go along with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shut up.
And that's it, literally. But if you have enjoyed the video, please make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like and comment. Post a comment on what the next video should be about. I'm needing as many ideas as possible to entertain you guys. We was able to get into a collaboration with Suji, Scorned.Empress. I know you're Suji, so that's what you're going to go by in my book.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, so we do thank Suji for obviously collabing with us, and I will put his YouTube on the screen, so make sure to go and give him some love as well. Subscribe to his account.
Get me to 1K, guys. I only have like, what, 50 left?
Let's get him to 1K. We've got him. But yeah, I think you're going to upload it onto Reddit and all that sort of stuff, obviously. I will be sharing it around anyway. So, yeah. There's two Nuxia mains getting together to make a YouTube video on a tier list based off a Nuxia matchup. So, yeah. We will catch you later. We will catch you in the next video. It's been a pleasure.
Y'all stay safe out there.
Yeah, man. Take it easy, guys. See you later.